What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
As I stepped into the grandeur of Hotel Athena, Siena, I couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia wash over me. The intricately designed lobby, with its gleaming marble floors and majestic chandelier, seemed to transport me to a bygone era. But, little did I know, my dreamy getaway was about to turn into a never-ending nightmare. I booked my room through one of the major booking sites, but what I got was a souterrain room, one level below reception. The view was nothing but a gloomy local road, making me feel like I was trapped in some sort of dingy labyrinth. It was as if I was forced to live in a perpetual state of darkness, with the only solace being the faint hum of the road above. I couldn't help but think, is this what they mean by ground floor? But, that was just the beginning. When I requested an upgrade, I was charged extra for the so-called privilege. It was as if they were holding me hostage, exploiting my desperation for a decent room. I felt like I was being squeezed for every last penny, like a lemon being wrung dry. And then, there was the cleanliness issue. Oh, the horror. The rooms were infested with bed bugs, leaving me with unsightly bites and an unrelenting itch. It was as if I was trapped in some sort of twisted insectarium, with no escape from the relentless crawling sensations. I couldn't help but wonder, is this what they mean by cleanliness? But, what really took the cake was the service. The front desk staff were as helpful as a chocolate teapot. When I tried to reason with them, they would stare at me with a blank expression, as if I was speaking a foreign language. It was like trying to communicate with a brick wall, only to be met with a dismissive shrug and a half-hearted apology. And don't even get me started on the parking fiasco. When I arrived, there were plenty of vacant spaces available, but the front desk clerk, Daniel, claimed that my car might block other guests' parking. It was a ridiculous assertion, akin to saying the sky is purple. I felt like I was trapped in some sort of bizarre parallel universe, where logic was a distant memory. But, what really broke my heart was the callousness of the hotel management. When I reported the incidents, they seemed more concerned with covering their tracks than providing a solution. It was as if they were hiding behind a mask of incompetence, hoping the problems would magically resolve themselves. As I sat in my dingy room, surrounded by the eerie silence of the hotel, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of melancholy. It was as if I was trapped in a perpetual state of disappointment, with no escape from the crushing weight of my own expectations. So, dear friends, I ask you, have you ever felt like you've been scammed, exploited, and left high and dry by a hotel? Have you ever felt like you're trapped in some sort of never-ending cycle of disappointment? If so, then join me in my crusade against Hotel Athena, Siena. Let's rise up against the injustice, against the callousness, against the sheer incompetence. Let's demand better, let's demand more. For it is only when we stand together, united in our disappointment, that we can create real change. So, what do you think, dear friends? Have you had a similar experience? Share your story, and let's expose the truth behind Hotel Athena, Siena. Together, we can make a difference. Based on my analysis of businesses near Hotel Athena, Siena, here's the comprehensive overview: Travel Analyst Report, Negative Review Analysis, Businesses near Hotel Athena, Siena, Chunk 1. This report analyzes negative reviews for 5 businesses located near the Hotel Athena in Siena, focusing on patterns, specific issues, and characterization of each establishment based on customer feedback. The businesses examined are Sis Alpha, Sportswear, La Bagnaia Golf Resort, Il Pomodorino, Restaurant, Torrefazione Fiorella, Cafe, and Vanilla Disco Club Siena. Overall patterns and issues. A pervasive theme across all 5 businesses is a significant disconnect between expected service quality, often implied by price point or perceived establishment type, and the actual customer experience. Issues related to staff attitude are remarkably common, appearing in almost all reviews. Beyond this, several other patterns emerge: inconsistency in quality, poor communication/organization, and maintenance/facility concerns. The reliance on negative reviews suggests a potential systemic issue with customer service standards in this localized area. Business-specific analysis. 1. Sis Alpha, Sportswear. Sis Alpha is overwhelmingly criticized for rude and unhelpful staff, particularly those at the checkout. Multiple reviewers describe feeling actively discouraged from making a purchase, with staff being dismissive and appearing eager to leave work. Specifically, reviewers identified individual staff members, a woman with long black hair and another more robust with red hair, repeatedly exhibiting this behavior. Beyond staff attitude, concerns are raised regarding slow service, a disorganized store layout, small size, lack of choice, and disingenuous sales tactics, described as fake discounts. The issues center predominantly around the checkout experience, which seems to create a negative lasting impression. 2. La Bagnaia Golf Resort. Reviews of La Bagnaia point to a significant discrepancy between its advertised luxury, often marketed as a 5-star resort, and the reality experienced by guests. The primary complaints fall into 3 categories: financial issues, specifically unreceived refunds, even after assurances, poor maintenance and outdated facilities, lack of air conditioning, broken TVs, no internet, dilapidated bathrooms, and substandard service. The specific incident regarding the unrefunded €150 and blocked phone number demonstrates a concerning lack of follow-through and a disregard for customer resolution. Several reviewers stated the resort feels more like a 2-star hotel than the advertised 5-star standard. 3. Il Pomodorino Restaurant. Il Pomodorino receives consistent negative feedback centering around food quality issues and terrible service. While some acknowledge the pizza can be good, specifically the gluten-free version is repeatedly described as poorly made, undercooked and lacking flavor. The most prominent and consistent complaints relate to rude, dismissive, and even mocking staff. Reviewers report being ignored, overcharged, and treated with blatant disrespect. Long wait times, incorrect bills, and a general lack of attention are also repeatedly highlighted. There's a clear pattern of a hostile or uncaring service environment. 4. Caff Fiorella Cafe. This cafe's negative reviews are focused almost entirely on the poor quality of the coffee. Bitter, burned, not well made, and unfriendly/unprofessional staff. Reviewers specifically mention issues with milk preparation and baristas seeming uninterested in providing quality service. Some reviews describe the staff as unhappy and unwelcoming. There are also allegations of racial discrimination in one review, which, if substantiated, is a very serious concern. Long-term issues regarding declining service are also raised, suggesting a consistent downward trend in quality. 5. Vanilla Disco Club Siena. The Vanilla Disco Club suffers from issues related to security, organization, and overall atmosphere. Complaints center on a cumbersome and overly complicated entry process involving QR codes and multiple checks. Inside, reviewers describe a crowded, hot, and uncomfortable environment with poor air conditioning. Rude security staff, unruly patrons, and concerns over safety, fire hazard, are also prominent. Furthermore, several reviews mention issues with the club being closed without clear communication or updates online. Overall, the reviews portray the club as poorly managed and potentially unsafe. Generalized conclusions: businesses in this area. Based on this first chunk of data, businesses in the immediate vicinity of Hotel Athena and Siena seem to suffer from a common weakness: a lack of emphasis on customer service training and proactive problem resolution. Staff attitude is a recurring theme. The reviews suggest a culture where staff may be unmotivated, unfriendly, or actively dismissive of customer needs. Additionally, the reports indicate a tendency for businesses to prioritize other aspects, for example, volume of customers, internal processes, over delivering. A consistently positive analysis of negative reviews for businesses near Hotel Athena, Siena. Chunk 2 halves. This analysis focuses on the negative reviews of Zest Restaurante and Wine Bar, a Michelin-starred restaurant near Hotel Athena, Siena. The review data reveals a pattern of subpar service, unappetizing food, and discriminatory behavior towards certain customers. Common issues: 1. Poor service. The reviews highlight rude, unaccommodating, and discriminatory behavior from the staff, particularly towards tourists and non-Italian speakers. The staff's attitude and body language were perceived as unwelcoming, making customers feel uncomfortable and unwanted. 2. Food quality and presentation. Several reviewers reported finding unacceptable items in their meals, such as a larva/maggot in a risotto dish and poorly prepared or inedible food. The presentation and quality of dishes were often described as mid-range or unappetizing. 3. Discrimination and unfair treatment. Reviewers reported instances of discrimination based on nationality, language, or order size. The staff's behavior was perceived as biased, with some customers being treated unfairly or refused service. 4. Lack of accountability and apologies. When issues were brought to the staff's attention, they often failed to apologize or take responsibility, leading to further frustration and disappointment for customers. Specific examples: Review number 1. A customer found a larva/maggot in their risotto dish, which was only partially addressed by the staff. Review number 2. A customer was greeted with rudeness and made to feel unwelcome when they asked to sit down for a glass of wine. Review number 3. A reviewer witnessed a couple being refused service because they only ordered coffee, while another couple was allowed to do so. Review number 4, a group of 16 people was turned away, with the staff claiming they required reservations, only to later seat some of the same group. Review number 5, a customer was treated poorly when they ordered a small meal, and the salad was underwhelming. Review number 7, a reviewer alleged that the restaurant refills empty bottles with cheap water and charges customers full price. Insights and recommendations. Based on these negative reviews, it is clear that Zest Restaurant and Wine Bar has significant issues with service, food quality, and fairness. To improve, the restaurant should 1. Train staff on customer service, ensure that staff are welcoming, friendly, and accommodating to all customers, regardless of nationality or language. 2. Improve food quality and presentation, review menu items and cooking techniques to ensure that dishes are consistently prepared to a high standard. 3. Address discrimination and unfair treatment, implement policies to prevent discrimination and ensure fair treatment of all customers. 4. Encourage accountability and apologies, train staff to take responsibility for mistakes and apologize when necessary. By addressing these issues, Zest Restaurant and Wine Bar can improve customer satisfaction, restore its reputation, and maintain its Michelin star. This analysis covers all the businesses analyzed in the area and provides insights into what travelers can expect when staying near Hotel Athena, Siena. I'm so sad to be talking about this, but I have to warn you about the scams near Hotel Athena, Siena. I know you're excited to visit this beautiful place, but you have to be careful, you know? Businesses near Hotel Athena, Siena are like fake friends. They might look nice on the outside, but they can be super manipulative. Take this one case where fake police officers targeted an elderly woman. Can you believe it? They convinced her to give them her gold jewelry, just like that. When the police finally caught them, they found the stolen goods hidden in their rented car. I predict the victim was so shaken up, she probably didn't even want to leave her house again. And those scammers? They got what they deserved. One of them even got a restraining order banning him from Siena for 4 years. What kind of person does that to an old lady? And then there are these artisan shops in the historic center that are like wolves in sheep's clothing. They charge tourists super high prices for common goods, like olive oil or wine, and then try to convince them it's some rare, authentic product. I mean, come on. You pay a few euros for the same thing at a supermarket down the street. The police have even investigated some of these shops for fraud and unfair practices. I predict the tourists who got scammed probably felt so embarrassed and frustrated when they found out the truth. And those shopkeepers? They just got away with it, making a profit from unsuspecting visitors. And don't even get me started on the counterfeit goods being sold as genuine local crafts. Who does that? In one case, the authorities found dozens of fake leather goods and ceramics in a souvenir shop. The tourists who bought those things probably thought they were supporting local artisans, but really they were just funding a scam. I predict those tourists were devastated when they realized they'd been duped. And the shop owners? They got fined and had their businesses temporarily shut down. And have you heard about the cafes near Hotel Athena, Siena that add extra items or inflated amounts to tourist bills? How low can you go? The police have received so many complaints about this, and I predict those tourists who got ripped off were just furious. I mean, who wants to pay extra for a cup of coffee, right? Those cafe owners probably thought they could get away with it, but the authorities are onto them now. I'm so sad to be talking about all these scams near Hotel Athena, Siena. It's just so unfair to tourists who come here to have a good time. But I hope by sharing these stories, you'll be more careful and aware of your surroundings, okay?